As you can see from my background here, I am quite the big fan of Five Nights at Freddy's Funko Pops. Recently, Funko released a brand new wave, and I have got the majority of this wave, excluding the one that is like the jumbo, because I can't find it anywhere. But some FNAF fans may know what wave this is, however some may not, which is obviously why I'm showing you guys today the Five Nights at Freddy's Withered Funko Pops. The Withered animatronics are animatronics that don't normally get merchandise in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. I think Withered Bonnie had a mini, we had a Withered Bonnie pop, and then we had the McFarlane figures. And that was it. Until Jazzwares a few days ago revealed every single piece of merch. And that was insane. You know, a few months ago actually, at a different convention, we saw the Withered Bonnie and Withered Freddy, but all of them have just been revealed. So, very exciting time for Withered fans, finally getting merchandise after like, 11 years of franchise, and characters from the second game don't get any merchandise. But regardless, let's kick straight into things, starting it off with the main man himself, Withered Freddy Fazbear. Now, I am going to be taking these out of the box for anyone who's concerned, but they will be displayed here. As you can see, my setup is already ready for them, as it's going to go, I believe it's Withered Bonnie, Withered Chica, Withered Foxy, Withered Freddy, because I do it by the numbers on the top. That would be the way they are organised. Before we open these up though, I would like to mention that these figures are very much, some of them at least, are just the FNAF 1 figures, but changed. You can see this most in, I believe it's Freddy and Chica. Yeah, just literally Freddy and Chica are just the FNAF 1 bases, which is why I've got the FNAF 1s just off to my shelf. They are on my shelf at the moment, but once I've got them all open, I will do a comparison between the old and the brand new ones. So I'm not going to make you guys sit here as I open them. I am going to open him now. I'll do the same with the others, and I'll jump cut to him on top, and then I'll show him. Here he is, out of the box. Thing out, yeah. So obviously I think you can tell it's pretty obvious. It is just the FNAF 1 Freddy base. If I just bring my light over here a little bit so I can get more, you can see all the colours on them are accurate enough, but literally just the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 colours, because they didn't bother to do a new pop. You can see as well from the back it just looks like an edited FNAF 1 Freddy, and from the front you can kind of tell it's supposed to be Withered Freddy, because I believe the torso is a completely new mould with all the wires and all the different things, but yeah, that is just FNAF 1 Freddy's head with an open jaw. And I'm assuming that's meant to be the end of inside, but it's just a black void, which is a bit disappointing. The eyebrows are pointed down and changed. Something which is accurate to Withered Freddy is the fact that there is no noticeable withering on the face, but the ears should have been a different shape. You know, these cheeks should have been slimmed down. I think that this pop overall was a bit lazy with the head, and I think it was one of the later ones done in the wave. If you look here though, you can see he's got both his arms, he's holding his microphone, which is pretty accurate to the game. He's got a little rip in his arm there, which is accurate to the model. He's got more rips here, which is again accurate to the game. We have all these little holes down here, the little crosses. Accurate in sense, but that's more of a stylistic choice, but you can't argue when you've got big round eyes like that. Here I would like to note though that Funko didn't bother to paint these wires. These wires just go unpainted. These aren't blue or red or white or grey, they're just brown. They just didn't bother, which is really disappointing, to be completely honest, because to finally get Withered merch and then it to just look like this is like, come on, could have done so much better. But the body is very accurate in the sense of it is more rounded. I think it's just the head on Freddy that really lets him down, so I'm gonna slide. I'm going to put the box out the way, but I'll leave Freddy in the background. Moving on then to Withered Bonnie, who's honestly his box. I picked up one of the worst ones, which I was a bit annoyed with. I didn't realise until just a few seconds ago there. I think Withered Foxy's also got this damage. I did get Withered Foxy and Withered Bonnie from a different shop. I got these two from, I think it's Men's Kind. The Haunted U2's exclusive, the Dark Haunted ones. They were exclusive to a UK shop. I got them in there. And then Withered Bonnie and Withered Foxy, I believe I got these two from Worlds Apart, which is the same chain as Forbidden Planet, but again, a UK shop. As I say, this figure looks really good. There's the side image. And I think this one is a completely unique mould, except for the head and what I mean is it's unique from the Withered. It's unique from the original Bonnie. It's not unique from the Withered Bonnie we've already seen. It has one minor difference, which is the fact his hands are and his eyes are red instead of white, which I suppose would be more accurate to where we see him the majority of the time. But all that being said, let's just go ahead and get Withered Bonnie open. And there Bonnie is, out of his box. Let's take him off there, move that to the side. As you can see, I won't have too much to say about this, because there is already a Withered Bonnie Funko Pop that exists. Sadly, I do not have that. I do believe that it is a unique mould, though, for this arm at least. He has also been upgraded with the Endo O2 hand. Very happy about that, I would like to mention. Just freaking do that real quick. I'm very happy with that unique hand, because, okay, sorry, my dog's barking, I need to, yeah, so very, very happy with this. As I say, I don't have much to say. The torso, the Thoughts, the Nightmare one, it's the old Withered Bonnie we got with red eyes and an upraised hand. So I don't have much to say about it, but it's probably my favourite from the wave, excluding Golden Freddy. Who's technically part of that wave, but he doesn't have anyone else on the back. Yeah, so disappointed that this is who we get, but I understand it, and I'm happy that it's a chance for people who didn't get the original to go out and get it, like me, so that I can have a Withered Bonnie in my collection. That is really, really nice, and always appreciated. As I say, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and skip to Withered Chica. Right, so here where the Chica is, as you can see, straight away, the same thing that applies to Freddy. They've just used like the FNAF 1 Chica as obviously a base, and then kind of gone around that whole idea, which I personally do not think justifies. I don't think these characters should be. I think these characters very much deserve their own sculpts that are completely different, because why should they have to be reused molds when we've been waiting 11 years for Withered animatronic merch, you know? Like, they could have done so much, and so much better, but they had to wait for just one more wave, and maybe we would have got these guys if we waited one more wave in the action figure line. But I digress. So yeah, the box is pretty much the same as the other two. As you can tell, she doesn't look the best, but to be fair, she's good for what she is, which is a £15 toy, which is pretty decent. So let me just go ahead and get her out of her box real quick. Right, so as you can tell, here is Withered Chica all out of her box, and straight out of the box you can tell she isn't the best by any means. She doesn't look good, really. Something I noticed with mine is, like, was pulling her out of the box and that happened. You can see her teeth came out of place a bit. But, yeah, a lot of things on this pop I would personally change, but as I say, I think the body looks good. I'm not a fan of the colours the wires are. Should absolutely be red and blue, similar to the way her model looks in game. Similar to the way I did the custom figure, which hopefully you guys will be seeing soon. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish Withered Chica in time, but she will be shown off anyway. Maybe even in a video for tomorrow. I don't know. Either way, whatever. As you can see, she just got these weird things here instead of like the little wires. It doesn't look good. The black eyes don't do her any justice here. The other things in her body are pretty good, but I will note she has shoulder pads, and I don't think Withered Chica has shoulder pads. I'll have to fact check that with the encyclopedia in a second. However, I'm pretty much confident that she doesn't. Also, the most blaring issue, this bottom jaw, it's paper thin. Why is it that thin? Also, why is her entire mouth yellow? But whatever, this should be red, I think, but again, whatever. Pretty disappointing for a pop we waited 11 years for, you know, just what I'm gonna say. It doesn't look good for a Funko Pop that we waited 11 years to get. That voice crack. Anyway, it doesn't look good for a Funko Pop that we were waiting 11 years for, like, 11 years for this. You know? 11 years for that. This one's just a reused sculpt. I think the next one's got blaring issues with it as well somehow. Over 11 years of questioning these things, and he's still screwed loads up. I think the room wave's good though. And the movie wave, that's okay. Not a fan of Foxy, but I think I stated that in my other video. Go check the other video out. Wink, wink, hint, hint. Anyway, I'm going to clean this up so that we can go and get a proper look at Foxy. So here he is, Foxy, the Pirate Fox, except he's Withered Foxy. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but I've got a few issues right off the bat, but I'm not gonna state these until he's out. There's the side, again, all of it's pretty much the same, just with Withered Foxy on it instead. So let's go ahead and open this Funko Pop. So here is Withered Foxy. I'd say he's probably a pretty decent figure. He looks really good. The sculpt is pretty good. For the stylization of Funko Pop, it is really good. Would have preferred if you had an endo instead of just a big, silver void with teeth. Yeah, that's silver, not black like Freddy's. And no endo in there. Sorry, just to quickly check, does Chica even have an endo? Kind of. Yeah, okay, I'll give Chica a pass. I know it's yellow, but I mean, yeah, it's closer than these two, so. She does in fact have an endo inside of her, but as you can see with Foxy here, the endoskeleton isn't accurate at all. It looks more like an Enid endoskeleton. I think the arms do it okay, especially here with the hook, that looks pretty nice. I like how we actually have the front half 2 feet, like endoskeleton toes, yeah, more squared off, but you argue it could be stylization. Same with the eye patch. I would have preferred if it was more like, instead of it looks like he's flipped it completely up, if it was more pointing like this way at the player, it was like a little piece that actually stuck out. But again, stylization, I could understand it. Yeah, overall I would say this figure is pretty good. Nothing too special about it. It is just, you know, Foxy, but to be fair, it does fix a lot of issues on other Foxies. However, I will state this brown far too dark. Could be a lighting issue. All the photos they've used have had that, so I'm going to let that slide. However, the fact that his pants are red and not brown annoys me deeply, so I might actually paint them. He looks stoned, with lack of better words to put it. He looks high, like, God, you're Foxy. That's what he looks like to me. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Yeah, the big silver block is a bit obvious there. I guess that could be to keep him accurate for the majority while still making him work in the Funko Pop style though. He also has, you can see here, the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 endoskeleton hand for some reason. I think that hook's different. It is, because Foxy's has a big thingy on the bottom, but for the most part, I would say this is a incredibly good figure. I'm now going to go and get the FNAF 1 Funko Pops, the original ones, and compare them to these ones. Alright, we are now back, except I've got the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 Funko Pops here. Also, if you've got any questions about why they've got marks, or you can see a bit on Freddy here, glue marks, or I think you can see it the most on Bonnie, the glue marks. So I don't know if you can, I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, something happened with Bonnie, I don't actually know. But this super glue just decided it did not want to. So I put a little teeny bit, and I woke up the next day and his ear had fallen off and all the glue had run down his head. And that's what I ended up with. So this is my, believe it or not, first 2 pieces of Five Nights at Freddy's merch I ever got back in 2016. I went into, at the time it was Toys R Us. You can see there in your thought 2016. I went into Toys R Us, and yeah, so in Toys R Us, they were there, and I was like, oh my god, can I get them? And my dad was like, oh, go on then. So I got them. But yeah, as you can see as well, Chica has a few marks. I never had, but I know there's a bit of a side tangent for a review, but I never had the original FNAF 1 Foxy. I only ever had the glow-in-the-dark version, which is heavily broken now, so I have got an in-box replacement here, which is quite nice to have. Ignore the fact it's in the new box and I've just slapped the sticker on there. I didn't really want it being out of box and getting damaged, so I believe this is the 2020 re-release. Oh no, this is the 2016 version. Well, that's nice, isn't it? I do have a re-release one, but again, we're here for the Withered. You can tell, when you look at these two, you can tell that Funko is literally just, I think they made his head a bit bigger. Yeah, so they made his head a bit bigger, but left his hat and ears the same size, thinking we wouldn't notice. The jaws are identical. Even the sculpt of the microphone is. I think the arms are. The legs are. Minor few marks. The only thing that's actually different on these figures is the torsos. So, very disappointing, Funko. Do better. Because look at these two and tell me you don't look at that. See, because that looks like a FNAF 1 Freddy, but then that would literally make it look like Withered Freddy. If you just slim the cheeks out, you'd get away with it then. But, whatever. I guess this is good for customs where you want FNAF 1 Freddy with his mouth open, because you switch the torsos. But anyway, let's put Freddy there, move Bonnie out of the way of Freddy. I didn't plan this out very well, did I? And throw Freddy back here. Nice in order. I think this is the most unfair comparison because, yeah, sorry, again, ignore the glue, but you can definitely tell how they have literally just gone, oh, it's Bonnie, and used Bonnie's ears, except he made one of them stand up. It is literally just Bonnie's body with a FNAF 2 endo, even though that the tail on the back, and arm missing and the nightmare foot, so I think even the torsos are the same this time. No, the torsos are different, but still. Come on, Funko. I mean, they had the Withered Bonnie sculpt pretty good anyway, so I wouldn't even have been mad if they just re-released it with red eyes, to be completely honest. Would it have been more lazy? Yeah, would I have cared? Not really. So let's get the Chicas up here. These are the last obvious ones, to be honest. Where you can look and you can be like, yeah, they've just used the Chica head. See? You can tell in the beak, I think. You line them up, you can actually see the beaks match perfectly there. There they go. Oh, come out. The only difference is she's obviously been given they've cut her head in half like that. Yeah, literally the only difference is the eyes. Look at that, that's crazy. Oh, and they've all that to her hair. Hang on, pushing and fluffed it out a bit. That's all the differences though, which is they gave her the 3 toes, so they switched her feet out and gave her a new torso. You can't really tell the arms because they are missing the hands, so I want to give them the benefit of the doubt there, but the shoulder pads are there, so I can't, and it's I might be getting a bit quiet in parts of this video, that's because I feel a bit sick, so I do apologise. But regardless, these two are nothing alike apart from the ear. Yeah. I think with the Foxy got an entire new skull. The alarm's got a shoulder pad for some reason. Okay, Funko. Okay. Yeah, I don't see any similarities between these two really. I think they have literally just gone, screw it, there aren't enough differences. So in the end, my final result is the only one that got an entirely new sculpt is actually Withered Foxy, despite the fact that Withered Bonnie, you'd argue, did as well. No, Withered Foxy did. That is it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this review video. Tell me how I can improve, tell me things that you think I should review. Obviously I'll be reviewing the new Jazzwares stuff when I get it. I know. And for my casual viewers who watch me maybe for fun or be subscribed, thank you very much. But also, I'm sorry that I haven't been uploading a lot. It's been really difficult on me because my videos don't get that many views, and it's like, it's a bit, it hurts a bit because it's like I put a lot of effort in and no one watches them, and it's like, really? You know what I mean? But here's a little teaser for the next custom I'm working on. It is obviously the broken Jackie. She's been done for a while, but I just need to get those pop tube arms. I've ordered them, I just need them to get here now. And I have also, since last time I've seen her, updated my Jackie custom quite a bit. So, yeah, she will also be getting the pop tube arms, but she's got these for now. When the pop tube arms get here, I will make a video on these two, signalising their completeness. But yeah, so I completely resculpted her head and thought, there you go, that looks nice. And I gave her a bow tie, so that's my little thanks to anyone who watches me like full time, and I do appreciate the like the fact that you watch my videos a lot. You know, like it is nice when I see like comments as well. So as I say, if you have any ideas or even if you just want to say hi, please do comment, because it does really make my day. And I hope I'll see you guys again soon. Bye!